What's up, YouTube? This is Mathis97, and welcome to episode number 26 of my WWE 2K15 Universe Mode. And here we are with Friday Night SmackDown, and this is the final task that Cody Rhodes will be forced to compete in, the final match in Ryback's gauntlet of challengers that Rhodes has had to face in the past number of weeks, for the past month. And if Cody Rhodes can win tonight, he will be the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, and he will face Ryback for the title at Elimination Chamber. But he's got to win his match here tonight. And the question is, who is his opponent? Well, man, this is one giant obstacle for Cody Rhodes to overcome. Pun intended on giant, because puns are amazing. But anyway, Cody Rhodes tonight faces the world's largest athlete, the Big Show, a man that Cody Rhodes has never been able to beat. And Big Show, I'm sure, would love another crack at Ryback in the Intercontinental Championship. But before we take a look into this matchup any further, we have to, of course, take a look at the match card for this episode. So we did see Brie Bella get the win over Cameron. Goldust defeated Titus O'Neil in a one-on-one match. Mark Henry, the world champion, defeated Rey Mysterio, and Booker T scored the win over the other half of the Primetime Players, Darren Young. And the main event for tonight will be Bad News Barrett going one-on-one with the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. But now, let's take a look. Well, actually, I can't just yet, because there will be an announcement at the end of the episode regarding the Elimination Chamber, the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber, I should say, regarding the final two participants in that matchup. And it has been heavily rumored that it could be the return of Edge and Christian. So that's a possibility. That is a very strong possibility here tonight. But we're just going to have to wait to find out. You're going to have to stay tuned to the end of the episode. Or if you want to be cheeky, you could just skip to the end. But I'm not putting a time link down in the description for you, so that's going to be on you. If you really want to miss the great action we've got for you this episode, then by all means, skip to the end. If you can't wait for Elimination Chamber, you just want to be here now, and you just want to find out what this announcement is regarding the Elimination Chamber, well, then by all means, go ahead, try to skip to the end. Look for that. Go ahead. If you want to. I'm not telling you not to. If you really want to, if you don't want to watch the rest of the episode, go ahead. You've probably done it by now. If you wanted to, you've probably done it by now. So I don't even really need to keep talking. But tonight, Cody Rhodes in the opening match of SmackDown against the Big Show, the world's largest athlete, a man that Cody Rhodes has never in his career been able to beat. However, you know, if we look all the way back to the TLC actually, we can go even further back than that. We can go all the way back to the Survivor Series Team Ryback versus Team Orton matchup, where Big Show and Cody Rhodes were on opposing teams. And, of course, Team Orton wound up getting the win in that matchup, so Big Show was on the winning team. And then, you know, ever since then, these two men have had a bit of a beef with each other. They've had a problem with one another, where, you know, they both, at the same time, wanted to challenge for Ryback's Intercontinental Championship, and that's just what happened. On the TLC pre-show, they went head-to-head in a one-on-one matchup for the #1 contender's title. It was, of course, won by the Big Show in dominating fashion. You know, Cody Rhodes, he had a strong performance, but overall, Big Show just kind of dominated that matchup. And then we saw Big Show at the Royal Rumble, didn't get the win. He wasn't able to capture the title. And now he's got another chance, because, you know, as the rules of this gauntlet, this trial of endurance, or whatever exactly it is for Cody Rhodes, if Cody Rhodes loses any match, then his opponent, the opponent who beats him, will be the #1 contender and will face Ryback for the Intercontinental Championship at the Elimination Chamber. A very interesting and a very difficult stipulation in each of these matches, which has forced Cody Rhodes to take his game to a whole new level. As, you know, we've seen in the past couple of weeks, he's really pushed himself to the limit to improve his abilities and make himself ready to face Ryback. And we saw last week against Randy Orton, where he kicked out of an RKO. I mean, like I said last week, Cody Rhodes of the past wouldn't have been able to do that. Orton would have won that matchup right there, and we would have seen Ryback versus Orton at the Elimination Chamber. However, actually there was a cover, but Cody Rhodes managed to kick out. That was in fact the same move that Big Show used right there. That leg drop to the sternum. That was the same move that beat Cody Rhodes on the TLC pre-show. Like I said, this Cody Rhodes, this is a new Cody Rhodes. This is a stronger Cody Rhodes. And a more difficult Cody Rhodes to beat. And Big Show, I think he's realized that by now. But still, I mean, Big Show, he may have the advantage. But in terms of, you know, mental state, does Big Show have the advantage in that department? Because, you know, that was the same move that beat Cody Rhodes a couple of months ago on the TLC pre-show. So Big Show knows now that he's got to do something more. And, you know, he may be impressed. Or that could potentially throw him off a little bit. I mean, because now he may feel a little bit insecure about his own wrestling ability. Because, I mean, he may think that he's getting worse. Because, I mean, if he could beat Cody Rhodes with that move months ago, and now he can't do that anymore, if Cody Rhodes has enough strength to kick out of it, Big Show, he's going to have to do something else. But, you know, Cody Rhodes, he's defeated 3 opponents so far. Orton, Sandow, and Mysterio to get to this point here tonight. As we can see, a nice axe handle off the second rope there. And now all he's got to do is beat Big Show, a man that he's never defeated. That is going to be no easy task for Cody Rhodes, as he was going to go to the top rope there, but he second-guessed himself, because we've seen at times, especially on the TLC pre-show, when Cody Rhodes goes to the top rope, things don't always go well for him. And, I mean, against the Big Show anyways, because Big Show, he can catch you out of nowhere with a choke slam, with a knockout punch, and Cody Rhodes, he thought of that, and, you know, he second-guessed himself, and now, as we can see right now, he's in control. He's got the upper hand on Big Show, as he had to take a different approach. But right now, Cody Rhodes, look at this clothesline right there, taking the Big Show down, and the world's largest athlete is in a bit of trouble here. And Cody Rhodes, look at the strength of Cody Rhodes! Alabama Slammer, and he managed to pick up the 400-pound Big Show to hit the Alabama Slam. That just shows how much training, how much Cody Rhodes has been pushing himself in recent. Wait a minute! Crossroads by Cody Rhodes. He hits it. That could be it. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. No, Big Show just manages to kick out. Now look at this Big Show right to his feet, just kips up, almost just no-sold Cody Rhodes' Crossroads. And oh no, this is not good for Cody Rhodes. Big Show just throwing his massive body weight into Cody Rhodes, just engulfing him with that spear. And now Big Show, another spear. And he may have just broken a few of Cody Rhodes' ribs on that one. There's a cover, 2 counts, and now Cody Rhodes manages to stay alive yet again. And now look at this. Oh, Big Show. Big Show's got Cody Rhodes. Choke slam. A choke slam could spell the end of Cody Rhodes' dream. But Cody Rhodes kicks out. Cody Rhodes stays alive. And I mean, think of the progress Cody Rhodes has made. That leg drop to the sternum defeated Cody Rhodes a couple of months ago, and that's not even Big Show's finisher. And now look at this. Cody Rhodes has come a long way, that he can kick out of the choke slam. And what is it going to take to put Cody Rhodes down? Now I think Cody Rhodes is in his head. Big Show, he's got to be a bit concerned now, because, I mean, he probably thought heading in this matchup that this would be kind of easy for him. I mean, he wouldn't have to put so much effort into this matchup. And even so, even if he wasn't thinking that, he probably thought, okay, I can hit this guy with a finisher, game, set, match, it's over. But now that Cody Rhodes is kicked out of the chokeslam, Big Show, I mean, he doesn't know what to do with himself right now. I think he's a bit concerned. Can he put Cody Rhodes away? He may start to doubt himself a little bit here. Cody Rhodes right now, on the other hand, I think the longer this matchup goes on, it favors him. As there's a cover, 1, 2. Oh, but Big Show kicks out at 2.5 there. But yeah, as I was saying, I think the longer this matchup goes, the more it's going to favor Cody Rhodes, as he's definitely got the stamina. He's definitely superior in the stamina department as opposed to the Big Show. So Big Show, I mean, he's probably thinking he's got to wrap this up quickly. He's got to hit that knockout punch. That's his trump card. That's the only thing he's got left. Because, I mean, if the choke slam couldn't put Rhodes away, I don't know. So there's a cover, 2 count, and Cody Rhodes kicks out again. As you can tell, my voice is kind of, I don't know. I started with episode 23 today, And now it's episode 26, and you can just see, if you go back and watch them all in order, you can probably hear my voice just kind of get worse and worse. But anyway, oh, big punch there from, big hook there from Big Show as he delivers 2 in a row. Not quite the knockout punch. He didn't put as much force behind it, but it was just enough to stagger Rhodes. But Big Show didn't do anything more to capitalize on it. And now Cody Rhodes with a cover, but Big Show just manages to get the shoulder up at the last second. But Cody Rhodes now, what is it going to take to put Big Show out? Big Show counters the DDT into a side Russian leg sweep. And now Big Show just stepping across the sternum of Cody Rhodes. And now again just turns right around. And really just trying to take all the air out of the lungs of Cody Rhodes here. I mean, if you can't breathe, you can't fight. And Big Show seems to have picked up on that, and he's trying to use that to his advantage. Try to do something to put Rhodes away. What's Cody gonna do here? But Cody Rhodes now, I mean, he's really got to do something big to put Big Show away here. Look at this. Oh, he hits it. The disaster kick there. That could be it. Big Show, he's staggered, but Rhodes can't capitalize. He couldn't capitalize. He wasn't able to get back to his feet in time. And that just shows how much this match has taken out of him. Big Show, he's trying to get back to his feet. Cody Rhodes, he's measuring his man. Could he be going for the crossroads here? No, it looks like he's going to go for something else. He's got something else in mind. Drop kick into the corner. But Big Show right back to his feet. Rhodes, he's got to do something big and fast. And look at this. He's got Big Show. He's got Big Show. Roll up. 1, 2. Oh, but Big Show kicks out of the last second. Very close call there. But Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. He's got him. Crossroads for the second time. Crossroads. He hits it. That could be it. Rhodes, just cover him. You've got him. You've got the win. Cover. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes has done it. Cody Rhodes has beaten the Big Show. You know, prior to this night, I wouldn't think it would have been possible. You had asked me a month ago. I don't think Cody Rhodes had... I would have told you Cody Rhodes doesn't have what it takes to beat the Big Show. He can't become Intercontinental Champion until he beats the Big Show. And he doesn't have what it takes. But tonight Cody Rhodes proved me wrong. That just shows how far Cody Rhodes has come in the past number of months. How far he has progressed. And I think he's ready. I think we could be looking at the next Intercontinental Champion in Cody Rhodes. I think he's ready. Listen, Darren, we need to talk. We need to talk about the future of the primetime players. And after what's happened these past several weeks, I've come to truly question whether or not the PTP have what it takes. Whether or not we have what it takes to be tag team champions. Now, I know we've had our fair share of roadblocks in getting there, but our performance against the Wyatt family was unacceptable. I don't understand, big man. What are you talking about? Clearly, we weren't on the same page that night. And quite frankly, we haven't been on the same page since. That tag team match we had with the Usos last week woke me up. And I realized something. I realized that the primetime players aren't meant to be tag team champions. We don't have what it takes. Big man, listen to me. Just because we've lost a few matches in a row, that doesn't mean we can't cut it as a tag team. If we quit now, that proves that we don't have what it takes. You and I have worked non-stop, day in and day out, to get to where we are today. And you're just willing to throw that all away? Big man, to turn against yourself in your darkest hour. That's true failure. And that's just it, Darren. You think I'm turning on myself. But I'm not. I'm turning my back on you so I can redefine myself. By teaming with you over the past 6 months, all I've been doing is slowing myself down. In the 2 matches we've had against each other, I have never beaten you. And why do you think that is? Because I've wasted my time palling around with you. I've forgotten my true self. And after all this time, I've finally realized that I'm the alpha male in the WWE, not Darren Young's partner in crime. I'm not a primetime player. I'm a main eventer. I'm not about that millions of dollars. I'm about winning championships and destroying people. People like you. So Darren, I have to thank you in advance. Thank you for being my launching pad into superstardom. And now, wait a minute, look at this. Before the match can even begin, Bad News Barrett blasting Sheamus from behind, as we just saw that backstage segment between the primetime players. And I'm getting word right now that at the Elimination Chamber, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil will go one-on-one in a match against each other in their grudge match. As now it's official that the primetime players are no more. Titus O'Neil, he called himself the alpha male. He's ready to move on into his singles career. He's ready to move past Darren Young and look forward to bigger and better things here on Friday Night SmackDown into the rest of the WWE. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to say the least. Is Darren Young and Titus O'Neil, they've got, they've now got their history with each other, and it looks like they're done. They're no longer going to be a tag team. And I'm sure that's really going to frustrate Darren Young as well as Titus O'Neil, because, I mean, Titus, by now, he's been on a massive losing streak as of late, and that really has affected his psyche. It's really gotten to him. And now that he's turned his back on Darren Young, Darren Young is not going to be an easy customer to face. I mean, Darren has beaten Titus in one-on-one matches twice. The 2 times they faced off, Darren has won both of those matches. And Titus O'Neil knows that. And I'm sure Titus O'Neil, Darren Young, they call him Mr. No Days Off. So you can never, you can't just assume that Darren Young isn't going to be prepared for this matchup. You have to always assume that Darren will be prepared, that he will be ready. And, Titus O'Neil, I think he knows Darren Young better than anybody. So Titus O'Neil, this is going to be a very interesting match to see at the Elimination Chamber. Let's take a look at the main event right now. So we can see Sheamus delivers 2 axe handle clotheslines and now picks Barrett up for a nice side slam, taking Wade Barrett down. Well, actually more like a sit-out mat slam, I think. I don't remember what it's called. But Sheamus now, he's got Barrett for the Irish Curse backbreaker. And yes, I do know what that one's called. There's a cover. 2 count, but Barrett kicks out. But also earlier we saw Cody Rhodes beat Big Show, and that's big because now it's going to be Ryback versus Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental Championship at the pay-per-view. What a spine buster there from Wade Barrett. And we know that these 2 men, Barrett and Sheamus, are going to be in the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber, along with Mark Henry and Chris Jericho. However, there's 2 men yet to be named, and we're going to find out later on, immediately following this matchup, who those 2 superstars will be. Winds of Change, side slam there from Barrett. That could be it. 1, 2, 3. Barrett has beaten Sheamus in a very quick matchup here tonight. But of course, that's just the fallout from the attack prior to the matchup. Barrett showing his aggressiveness. And Barrett, he's really trying to get himself ready for the Elimination Chamber. He wants to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. He believes he has what it takes. And this victory over Sheamus just going to add to his number of victories he's got the past couple of weeks. And Wade Barrett, could we be looking at the next World Heavyweight Champion? I don't know. We're going to have to wait to stay tuned for the Elimination Chamber. But now I think it's time that we find out who the final 2 participants in the Elimination Chamber match for SmackDown will be. Whether it's all that much of a secret or not, the rumors are that it's Edge and Christian. Well, let's put those rumors to bed right now. Who are the 2 final participants? Ugh, do you smell that? I think it's us. We reek. We totally reek of awesomeness. Well, you know what that means. That's right. So Sheamus, Chris, Wade, Mark, get ready, because Edge and Christian are coming back to SmackDown, and we will be in the Elimination Chamber.